Before the first sunrise, before the moon was led across the heavens, and while the world was yet lit by the two colossal trees of Valinor, there existed a light so pure and so potent that its memory still haunts the very stones of Middle-earth. Welcome to Echoes of Middle-earth, where today we're delving into the most renowned and tragic artifacts of the Elder Days, the Silmarils. These were not merely gems, but the concentrated essence of a vanished paradise, forged by the most skilled craftsmen to ever walk the earth, and destined to dictate the fate of every living soul in Arda. To understand the Silmarils is to understand the soul of Tolkien's universe, for they were the only objects that preserved the ancient light of the two trees after the first Dark Lord, Morgoth, poisoned them in his insatiable malice. The origin of these three jewels lies in the noontide of the Blessed Realm, when Fëanor, the mightiest of the Noldor in arts and lore, was filled with a mysterious foreknowledge of the doom that drew near. He pondered how the light of the silver tree, Telperion, and the golden tree, Laurelin, might be preserved imperishably. He began a long and secret labor, summoning all his power and subtle skill to fashion a substance that no one, not even the other elves, has ever been able to replicate. When his work was finished, the three Silmarils were brought into being, and it is said that not until the world is broken and remade will it be known of what substance they were truly made. Though they appeared in the form of three great jewels, like the crystal of diamonds, they were far stronger than adamant. No violence within the kingdom of Arda could mar or break them. The physical power of the Silmarils was a marvel to all who beheld them. They were the houses of an inner fire, a life force that resided in every part of the jewel. Even in the darkness of the deepest, most lightless treasury, the Silmarils shone with their own radiance, appearing like the stars of Varda. Like living things, they rejoiced in light, receiving it and reflecting it back in hues more marvelous than before, splintering it into 10,000 sparks of white radiance shot with the glints of the rainbow. This radiance was so intense that when Beren closed his hand around a Silmaril, the light welled through his living flesh, turning his hand into a shining lamp. Beyond their physical beauty, the Silmarils possessed divine and spiritual powers that set them apart from any other object in history. Varda, the queen of the stars, hallowed the jewels, so that thereafter no mortal flesh, nor hands unclean, nor any being of evil will could touch them. To those unworthy of them, the touch of a Silmaril was a source of agonizing pain, scorching and withering their flesh. Even Morgoth, the most powerful being in Arda, found that his hands were burned black forever after he seized them and set them in his iron crown. He was never free from the pain of that burning, nor from the anger it stoked within his dark heart. The most profound power of the Silmarils, however, was their connection to the very fabric of existence. The Valamandos foretold that the fates of Arda, earth, sea, and air, lay locked within them. This was not a mere metaphor. The jewels were the only source left that could heal the Arda Mard. Yavanna, the giver of fruits, declared that the light she had brought into being with the trees could never be created again within the universe, and only by unlocking the Silmarils could she recall life to the trees and heal the world's hurt. This power was so absolute that it was believed the Silmarils brought a blessing and a healing to any land or house that held them. This inherent blessing led to the greatest tragedy of the elven race. Fëanor, in his pride and growing greed, became so bound to the jewels that he would wear them only at great feasts and at all other times kept them locked in a chamber of iron. When Morgoth slew Fëanor's father, King Finwë, and stole the Silmarils, it ignited a madness in Fëanor that led him and his sons to swear a terrible oath. They vowed by the name of the Creator to pursue with vengeance any creature who should withhold a Silmaril from them, whether it be a Vala, demon, elf, or man. This oath drove the history of the First Age, leading to the three kinslangs, where elf killed elf, and ensuring that any good work begun by the Noldor would eventually turn to evil through the treason of kin against kin.
The Silmarils also acted as catalysts for the most heroic deeds of men. Beren, son of Barahir, a mortal man, set out on a hopeless quest to Doriath to win the hand of Luthien, the daughter of King Thingol. Thingol, seeking to send Beren to his death, demanded a Silmaril from Morgoth's crown as a bride price. Against all odds, aided by the magic of Luthien and the Hound Huan, Beren succeeded in cutting one jewel from the Dark Lord's crown. This single jewel then passed through many hands, each time bringing both wonder and woe. It set in the Noglamir, the necklace of the dwarves, and it was said that when Luthien wore it, she was the vision of greatest beauty and glory to ever exist outside the realm of Valinor. For a brief time, the land where they dwelt became like a vision of the blessed realm, filled with a light that transcended the world. The power of the Silmaril eventually provided the only way for the inhabitants of Middle-earth to find salvation. Eärendil the Mariner, the son of Tuor and Idril, took the Silmaril and bound it upon his brow. With the power of that holy jewel, he was able to pass through the shadows and enchanted mists of the Great Sea to reach the uttermost west. There, as an ambassador for both elves and men, he moved the hearts of the Valar to pity, leading to the War of Wrath and a final overthrow of Morgoth. Eärendil was not permitted to return to mortal lands, and his ship, bearing the Silmaril, was set to sail the heavens as a star, Gil Estel, the star of high hope.
The two remaining Silmarils were recovered from Morgoth's crown after his defeat, but they were not destined to return to the hands of Fëanor's remaining sons, Maedhros and Maglor. Because of their many merciless deeds, the right to the jewels had passed from them. When they finally stole the jewels from the camp of the Valar's herald, Eonwë, the Silmarils burned their hands with unbearable pain. In despair, Maedhros cast himself into a volcanic chasm with his jewel, and it was taken into the fires of the heart of the world. Maglor, unable to endure the torment, cast his jewel into the deep waters of the sea and wandered the shores in eternal regret. Thus, the three Silmarils found their final homes, one in the air, one in the fire, and one in the water. Even in the Third Age, the power of the Silmarils was felt as a distant, fading echo. The phial of Galadriel, which the lady gave to Frodo, contained a portion of the light of Eärendil's star caught in the water of her fountain. It was this star glass that served as a light in dark places when all other lights went out, allowing the hobbits to withstand the terror of Shelob in her lair. Shelob, a descendant of the great spider Ungoliant, who had once helped Morgoth destroy the trees, was blinded and defeated by the very light her ancestor had sought to devour. Samwise Gamgee, in his most desperate hour, recognized the continuity of the story, realizing that he and Frodo were still in the same tale as Beren and Eärendil because they carried the light of the Silmaril in their hands.
The story of the Silmarils is a testament to the idea that the highest beauty and the greatest power are often accompanied by the heaviest burdens. These jewels were the light of God made physical, yet they became the objects of the world's most destructive greed. As the stars of the Great Bear, the Velasarca, continue to swing in the northern sky as a sign of doom for the dark, the Silmaril of Eärendil remains above us, a herald of an errand that shall never rest until the world is broken and the light of the trees is finally recalled to life. Thank you for joining us for this exploration of the most coveted treasures in the history of Arda on Echoes of Middle-earth. If you enjoyed this journey into the lore of the First Age, please like and subscribe as we continue to unearth the hidden truths and profound legends of Tolkien's magnificent world. Until the stars shine again on our meeting, may your path be guided by the light that never fades, and your heart stay as unyielding as the crystal of the Silmarils.